Hey, it's LJ, and welcome to another edition of LJ Reacts. This is a countdown edition. This is just over 1 year since I started the channel. So what I've done is I've sat down and I've ranked all the songs that I've covered, and I've put them in order of how good I think they are. So I've been saying about ages about doing this, and here it is. I have discounted a couple. I've knocked out any song that was done as a special live edition. So that's the Freddie Mercury stuff is out. Also, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which will be dropping at the end of next week, that's out. I didn't do the Len Davis stuff because I didn't rank it. And I also didn't discounted all the seasonal stuff, so the Christmas and the 2 Halloween songs. They're out too. However, that has left me with 30 songs, 3 of which unfortunately aren't going to make it to the channel because of poor production problems involved in the making of them. I know some of you who've seen my early videos are going to be shocked, but yes, there are some videos that are worse than that one. There's also 4 that will be dropping during this week that I have also included because they were recorded a while ago. They just were issues during the editing process, and I've only just got around to getting that sorted. So those will be up. So that's left me with 30 songs that I have ranked in order of how much I've liked them in the time that I've done this channel. And of course, if you've liked me in the time I have done this channel, you can like me here too. If you want to check me out in person, I do various stand-up stuff, and all my other projects are on the link tree there. And of course, you can check me out. You can chuck me a tip if you really think I'm worth it. I won't hold it against you. But with all that out of the way, here is a list of the 30 songs that I have done this year and how I think they rank in comparison to each other. I've taken into account what I ranked them when I first heard them, and I've sat down and I have thought about it, and I have included new ranks with each one of them. That includes some of the ones that are being released at the end of this week. So yeah, sit down and enjoy. Here are the 30 songs that I have reacted to over the last year.
Get on with the ceremony.
So I have a list of all the songs eligible for this countdown right here. So without further ado, let's begin with this countdown. In the list of songs, it was always going to be Wanna Be Gangster at the bottom of this list. I think I was a little harsh on it in the original video, but that still doesn't mean it was better than any other song I've reacted to so far. It's still easily the worst. I may have been a little harsh on the score, but yeah, not by a great amount. Next up is Doors, Paris Blue. Hearing new Doors music after such a long time seemed like such a good thing, but the music was just so simplistic. As a wannabe musician myself, it just didn't appeal. I gotta be honest, I was generous giving this thing a 6. I've seen people online loving it, and I understand if you're a massive Doors fan, hearing something new after so long, why that would appeal. But yeah, no, this one was just not for me. Guitar Man by Dave Evans. I think I rated this way too highly in the original video. I think it was just a case of where AC/DC is one of my favourite bands. I think I just was showing favouritism for a guy who, yes, he was part of AC/DC, but he's most famous for not being part of AC/DC. So yeah, I'm knocking off the score here. Aesthetic Perfection with Gods and Gold. I still don't know what to make of this one. The more I've listened to it, the more it's grown on me, but it's not my style of music. I think the score I gave it was fair though. The In the End demo by Linkin Park, that was a choice to release that. It again, In the End is the song that sort of got me into Linkin Park. So hearing this, it seemed like a holy grail, and it turned out to be such a don't meet your heroes type thing. People always say the song just, I can see it's one of those things, you can see the potential of the song it became, but there's a reason it took them uh, 10 years to release it. Queen, Face It Alone. What to say about this one? It was nice to hear Queen music after so long. After what, 20 years since we lost Freddie? But no, I think there's a reason this was missed off the album. It's a fine song. It's not one of Queen's best. Don't know if I rated it fairly or not, but the more I've listened to it, the less it's appealed to me. And yeah. The Offspring with Behind Your Walls. I'm gonna be honest, I was hypnotized by the video for this. That, I think, is why I gave it such high praise in my original video. Listening to it back without watching the video, listening to it back without watching the original video, it's just not great. There's a lot of Offspring stuff recently that I've listened to that I've liked, but this, it's without the video, it's kind of subpar from those guys. Prophets of Rage with Prophets of Rage. Oh man, I rated this so highly, but like I said in the original video, it was purely because it's a brilliant example of the starting point where it could be. I compared it to the original X-Men film, where some of those films are really good. The second one obviously was brilliant, and the first one was a good sort of standing block, but it's the same thing. Over time, the first film wasn't well received, was just kind of a thing that happened, and that's what this song is. That's why it's so low on the list. British Lion with This Is Your God. I'm going to be honest, I have had both from my own choices and the choices of some of you viewers. I had some great songs. This is really where this sort of picks up, and actually a lot of the songs are really strong. I saw British Lion earlier this year. It was fantastic. They opened with this song, and it was brilliant to watch. Steve Harris is freaking amazing. I mean, he's been with Iron Maiden for what, 40, this is what, 1975? He really knows how to command the presence. He really runs a tight ship. It was weird seeing a band featuring Steve Harris that didn't end with Monty Python's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life when the show ended. It really confused me. I was like, is it over? Well, the house lights are coming on. It must be. But yeah, I think I've rated this higher than I should have at the time. It's a great song, and I'd still listen to it on the regular. But Slash and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators with Call Off the Dogs. So yeah, this is the first video I shot, but due to issues with the microphone, I ended up not uploading it. So yeah, I didn't rate it at the time, but I really do enjoy this song. It's a shame that I've done so many other songs since that I've considered better, because I'm surprised at just how low down the list this has ended up. But still, that Slash album, brilliant listen. Ozzy Osbourne with Degradation Rules, backed up by Tony Iommi. This was such a brilliant throwback to some early Black Sabbath. I loved it. So I originally rated it 6.75. I think that's the only time I'm ever going to do that. Breaking it down more than half a point just seems ridiculous to me now. think the only reason I did that was because some of the other 6.5s that I considered better than it. Ironically, most of them have actually ended up higher up this list. But yeah, the new Aussie album sounds great. I've not picked up yet, but the singles he's released have all been brilliant. Coheed and Cambria with Comatose. Man, this was something different from Coheed. At least that's what I felt the first time I listened to it. And I thought, that's brilliant. I mean, it's still a great song, but no, I think the new sounds kind of lost its shine a bit. So I'm kind of expecting it now. I think the reason I rated it as highly as I did in the original is because, yeah, just because it was something new. I'd not heard Coheed sound quite that way before. But yeah, I mean, I think the current rating is a lot fairer. But still, I still haven't heard the full album. That is on my list of things to check out. But hey, if there's any songs you think I should check out, chuck in the comments below. This was Queen with Was It All Worth It? This is, although it's not up as I'm uploading this video, this is actually coming up in the next week. I've just finished editing it. I think I might have been a little cold on it when I first heard it. Listening to it back a couple of times in preparation for this list, it is a really good Queen track, and like I said at the time, it's a brilliant album ender, notably better than the other Queen song. I'm sorry, Queen fans, that Face It Alone. Can you honestly say you think that's up to Freddie's best? But yeah, Was It All Worth It? It does have it's a brilliant ending song, and I thank the guy who suggested I give it a listen, because yeah, it definitely was worth listening to. Nightwish with Noise. I'm gonna be honest, it's the least memorable of all the Nightwish tracks I've done. I mean, I do enjoy all the Nightwish stuff I've done. Like I said, all the songs from British Lion in this countdown onwards are great songs. This is a good song. It's just not as memorable as all the other Nightwish songs I have in this list. I think, yeah, it just about scrapes by keeping the rating I had, but only just. Hailstorm with I Get Off. Maybe I was a little harsh with the rating on this one, because it is a whole point lower than the last three songs. But still, I did enjoy it, and the more I've listened to it, the more I've gotten into it. Like I said at the time, if I'd have listened to this when it came out, this was exactly the sort of music I was looking for. Such a shame I've only recently discovered Hailstorm, because yeah, this song's fantastic. As is the other Hailstorm song, which will be coming up somewhere in this countdown. Shinedown, Planet Zero. Yeah, this is one of those videos that didn't make it up. This wasn't due strictly to any technical issues. Part of it was it's a song that I'd been overexposed to on the radio, and I felt that kind of damaged the integrity of the whole format for me to be a song that I was so familiar with. Also, there is some other stuff in that video that I feel didn't need to be said by myself. It's some issues that have since been worked out between me and the party involved, but other than it being a lesson for anyone trying to do this on YouTube, it would just have been so dull to watch that, me bringing up basically to do with copyright on YouTube. If you're not creating content on YouTube, it would probably just have been so it's a shame, because like I said, this song has rated so highly on this list. So yeah, check out the song, check out the album. I've heard a couple of the other tracks on the album. It sounds really good. Hopefully I'll be able to do some more reactions. Not a band I'm familiar with. So yeah, hopefully I'll be checking out some of them in the coming weeks and months. Nightwish with Bye Bye Beautiful. Yeah, I know what some of you are thinking if there are any Nightwish fans watching this. Yeah, there's a Nightwish song that doesn't feature floor above a song that does, to which I say, this one stuck with me a lot better than Noise, which is the only reason it's this high. It is a great little song. I know it's also completely different from everything else I've heard Nightwish because it's a different singer. Yeah, I feel the rating's not too far out of bounds. I think it really, the more I've listened to it, the more it's grown on me. I know that's going to upset some Nightwish fans, but hey, there are other songs. There are other floor songs I've got coming up. So this is another song that I got that didn't make it onto the channel due to basically due to massive technical issues. There was a problem with my microphone; it just was unlistenable. And I sort of listened to it back. Otherwise, yeah, I would love to do this. This is Frank Turner and Katie Tunstall with "Little Life." In short, "Little Life" is a song on his most recent album that it's one of the songs that just did not resonate with me at all. I listened to it, it was fine, and I forgot about it immediately afterwards. Bringing Katie Tunstall in to be the secondary vocalist, it really added something. There was something, the way she sings, the way Frank sings, they sort of resonated off each other. And yeah, such a shame I didn't do this video. But the audio is just unlistenable. But Frank's doing recording some new stuff, so maybe I'll have some stuff of his coming up soon. Ozzy with Patient Number 9. I do love a bit of Ozzy Osbourne. So this was recorded with the late Jeff Beck. Yeah, Ozzy does. He can still go. At least when it comes to in the studio. Obviously, all his live performances have been cancelled. He was due to make another attempt to come back this summer, but that's recently just fallen through, which is such a shame because I'd love to see him do his solo stuff. I saw him a couple of times with Sabbath in the last sort of few years, and yeah, they were awesome. But to see him do like Crazy Train and Mr. Crawley, and even Patient Number 9, I would have been worth whatever they were charging for tickets. But he's only human, and various issues, both through his own choices and misfortune, mean his health just isn't up to it, which, well, it's the Blizzard of Oz. Get well soon, man. Coheed and Cambria, A Disappearing Act. Yeah, this was completely not what I was expecting. An electronica song from Coheed. Such a retro sound, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the score I gave it, and it was unnecessarily low. I'm not. Having gone through all these songs to compile this list, this is definitely one of the better ones I've done. I don't know why I rated it so low. Possibly just again because the different sound just sort of caught me off guard. Chemi Queen with Confession. Oh man. I said at the time I'm probably rating it low because the sounds catch off. This seems to be a running thing where if a band comes out with a different sound that I'm not familiar with, I just sort of listen to it and go, it's not what I was expecting. That's really just a knock on me. No, this song's actually really good. Am I overcompensating because I like the band as people as well as music? Maybe. Does it matter? No, it's my list. That's how this works. Coheed and Cambria with Disappearing Act. Only this is the version they uploaded to their YouTube channel where Claudio's playing an old school Wurlitzer. It's just such a nice retro sound, something a bit different. I think it just sounds considerably better. I'm not a big electronica fan, as I've said in a couple of the previous entries. So this was just something fresh, different, and it also helped that I'm familiar with the song by that point, so I knew what to expect, and it didn't sort of throw me. For Jensen with a cover of Alone. I know the original isn't Heart, but that's the famous one. I don't need any more comments just reminding me that Heart weren't the original vocalist. So yeah, Floor Jensen, of course, Nightwish. She's been suffering some health problems lately. It seems to be a running thing on this list. Hopefully, it's nothing to do with me. I understand they had to cancel some of their live dates due to concern over her and her unborn child. I hope she sort of gets better. There is new Nightwish stuff coming next year, so that means there's definitely going to be more content coming for this channel from Nightwish, which is great because you Nightwish fans, you kept me afloat for a long time at the start of this channel, and I really love you guys for that. So this is Frank Turner and Choir, Choir, Choir. Is this personal bias? This may well be personal bias. One of my favourite singers is this high in the chart with a cover of one of his own songs. Yeah, I explained in the original video what this song meant to me. At the time it came out, I was in a bit of a low place, and there's just something about the way the lyrics and the video all synced up with the way I was feeling. Sometimes I just hear that in the morning, and just be that extra pickup I needed. The way they did it with Choir, Choir, Choir was so brilliant. The way where they were involved, more importantly, the parts where they just left Frank on his own. I really think that helped enhance some of the stuff on the track. And yeah, they kind of joked on Twitter that I rated them so low, but they're right. It's a better track than I gave it credit for, and I'm sorry, guys. Have a couple of extra marks on me. Alter Bridge with Cradle to the Grave. I'm going to be honest, I kind of went back and forth on where to put this, because obviously on the video I've rated it ridiculously low. There is like nothing. There is only one other song rated this low that's this high on this countdown. What can I say? It does have an epic feel. It took me back to a place where I was a teenager, and I wasn't yet miserable. I was enjoying life, and there was just something about that sound that just brought me back to that time in the early aughts where this sort of music was kind of an expected standard from these musicians, and then they kind of drifted away. But no, it took me back to a wonderful place. I feel, yeah, it could be. I like British Lion. Listening back, it feels a bit emptier than it did the first time I heard it, but I don't know. I'm still enjoying this one. Seeing it live, like the week after I recorded the video, was also really awesome. That may have boosted the score up a bit. Just the memory of just that atmosphere, and for the fact I scored the tickets for like 15 quid. It's brilliant. Hailstorm with Wicked Ways. Yeah, so this is the first Hailstorm track I did. I kind of heard it on the radio a couple of times, so again, with the Shine Down, that's kind of two minds about posting it. And a lot of people seem to enjoy it, which is great, because the more of Hailstorm stuff I see, the more I think, yeah, I freaking love Lizzie Hale. She is amazing. When I saw Alter Bridge, she was the support act, and it was just I was sitting in the bleachers and sort of looking down on the floor. It's just like, how is everyone just so still while this maniac, this goddess of chaos, is just on stage doing the sort of things she's doing? I would have. But yeah, I'd love to do some more Hailstorm stuff. If that appeals, chuck it in the comments below. Um, Such a pedestrian score I gave it originally, but the trouble is when you're rating on 1 to 10, you don't have a lot unless you want to break it down. And as I said with the Aussie stuff, and as I said with degradation rules, I ain't doing that again. Falling for Soup, Hello Anxiety. I've discussed sort of mental health stuff a couple of my videos in the past, and yeah, this just really rung true to anxiety I've suffered in the past. There's just something about this, and the fact that, you know, they're talking about such a sensitive subject, but being forced to do it with such a, big smile. It's a case of anyone who's had issues like that in the past, that's exactly how you sort of live your life. And I feel they captured that perfectly. I do love Bowling for Soup. Nightwish, Lost Ride of the Day. This is the one that was recorded live-ish during lockdown. They did it live and they did it against CGI background, and it's weird because live recorded music sounds different to what you do in a studio. Studio, you can bring in like overdubs and like play the reverb and all this other stuff. So it sounds a lot sweeter on like the record. But you do it live, it doesn't have those overdubs because, yeah, unless you have a horde of backup musicians, you're only playing with what you've got in the band, solely just the band for this one. So you've got that live feel, but you don't have the crowd noise because it's done during lockdown. The original rating I gave this, spoiler alert, I feel I was harsh. I can definitely add some more to that score because I don't know why I rated it so low at the time. Listening to it back, it's definitely a mass improvement. Saving Peach with Zombie Girlfriend. This is part of the reason I've not done videos in a long time. I had so many technical problems that I just wanted to give this the boot, but at the same time, I really wanted to upload it because it's a brilliant song. I know more people need to hear it. When the video drops, which I think is due a day or two after this comes out, you'll see it's one of the few times I've ever used jump cuts in one of my main clips, and that's just because it was such trauma with my ISP. Really was sort of messing me around. Shame because I love this song. I listen to it on the regular because the guys are just fun. You look at some like the great music I've got in this list. It's a case of what's come number 2? 3 guys from Basildon playing 3 chords. Sometimes you don't need anything overly complex. Sometimes things just have to be fun. Hell, that's why we loved Iron Man. Didn't have the complexity of The Dark Knight, but it started the greatest movie franchise in history because there was just something about it that made you feel good. Of course, you know what this is. If you've listened to this, if you've stuck with the channel and watched more than about 3 videos, I've mentioned it in like every 3rd video since I uploaded it. But of course, it's Nightwish with Ghost Love Score. What's there to say? In all honesty, when I put this list together, it's been a while since I actually listened to it. So just for context, this is the Live at Varkin version, which, for those who aren't familiar with Nightwish, is the reaction video all Nightwish fans scour YouTube for. There are some fans that now like, that's a bit harsh, but think about it, it's also true. This blew my mind the first time I heard it, and listening to it back, because it'd been a while since I heard it. I was like, is this really going to be the same? I mean, I'm an Iron Maiden fan, right? The first time as an Iron Maiden fan you hear Hallowed by Thy Name, it just blows your mind. It is their musical peak. It's the greatest song musically, lyrically, everything just falls into line, and you just don't get that same feeling from it. It's just, oh yeah, this is really good every time you listen to it, but you don't have that moment of that just sort of sucks you in first time. The only way I can really experience that is to scour YouTube for "Hallowed Be Thy Name" reaction videos and watch the same people and watch people like myself get the same reaction to when I did it. I was worried that's what I have with this. It definitely still stands up. Although the impact's gone, it still is an amazing masterpiece to listen to. I can see why people are like, oh yeah, you need to listen to this song, and it's got me like half my subscribers. Not granted, that's not a great amount, but still, if it wasn't for this song, I probably would have given up about 6 videos in. Yeah, if you've not heard it, don't just go to my reaction video. As much as I'd love you to, the production's terrible, and it, it and I keep pausing it. Go see the original. Go see the original all the way through. If you've not seen it, I advise you do that right now. Just Stephen, don't even. Usually, if us YouTubers, if we don't have people watching right to the end, that screws us up. Just pause this video. I'll chuck the link in the corner there. Go do it. You will not. You'll not regret it. That's been me ranking the 30 songs that I covered in my first. Technically, it was my first 6 months because I've not done a video in 6 months. My first year of doing this. That's my personal preference. Yeah, give your thoughts in the comments below. Was I overly harsh on some of the songs? Was I way out of bounds with some of the rankings I gave? Don't forget, check me out on the socials. You've got the link tree. You've got the tip jar. And I guess, well, till next time I do one of these lists, it's So I have the list of all the songs eligible for this countdown right here. And I think that applies for everything, but especially from the new Coheed stuff. So this Queen was what? So this is Queen with. So this is. Yeah, this one is one of the ones that will be dropping in the next week. So yeah, as long as fuck. Check this song out. Thanks, Doug. You've ruined the sound.